Hi friends, this is Krish the Urban Naxal. Friends, some years ago I had a conversation with a retired Assistant Commissioner of Police, ACP. The ACP said, Krish, there's one thing I really hated about our service, police service. If there was a pickpocket and the guy had taken somebody's wallet, he would be beaten black and blue in the police station. We would beat him up, we would slap him around. But if there was a builder who had caused the financial ruin of 100, 200, 500,000 families, entire families ruined because he took their money, 30 lakhs, 50 lakhs, 1 crore, we treated these white collar criminals with a lot of respect. Nobody beats them up. Nobody slaps them up. There is no third degree for these criminals. I felt bad about even beating up the small time criminals. At the most, they are going to earn a small amount. What are they earning? But the big ones, they are earning 400, 500 crores, 1000 crores. They make big money. If a redevelopment builder takes away your house, he breaks your house, he demolishes your house, he doesn't reconstruct your house, he doesn't give you anything, and the entire society consisting of maybe 50, maybe 100, maybe 200, maybe 500, maybe 1000 members devastated financially, their life savings are taken away. Even then he will not be punished. Why? Because the system is with him. Because no politician wants to talk about that. No politician, no judge wants to address that problem. Let me be very clear about this. No builder ever has been hung. No builder ever has been given capital punishment for taking away the houses of hundreds or thousands of people. Not even one builder has been thrown behind bars for 10 years, 20 years. No, never happened. Check it out. How many builders have made destitutes, absolute destitutes, brought people to the streets? How many redevelopment builders have done it? I would say the numbers of projects will be in the thousands, only in a city called Mumbai and maybe Mumbai metropolitan regions. The numbers are in the thousands projects. How many builders? Maybe 400, 500, maybe 700, 800, some such number. Big number. How many builders in other cities? Similar numbers. Big numbers. There are, I dare say, there are at least 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000 builders today who deserve capital punishment, who deserve to be given life imprisonment and nothing short of life imprisonment for playing with the futures of thousands of families and knowingly doing it, knowingly playing with the future of thousands of families, bringing them down to the roads, taking away their life savings, giving them nothing in return, rendering them destitutes. People would have committed suicide. Families would have died in poverty or in medical crisis where they don't have money to save their loved and their near and dear ones. My father got a heart attack, I don't know what to do, that kind of situation. All my money is locked up in the property and the property has been taken over by the builder and I can't get a home loan on it. That property, I can't get a home loan on it. I can't float a loan. I can't mortgage that property. That property is not mine to mortgage. Think about it. A redevelopment property. If the builder has taken away your flat worth 1 crore rupees and promises to rebuild, do you have an asset? You believe you have an asset. You believe you have an asset worth 1.5 or 2 crore rupees. because the builder says, I am going to give you a larger house. But do you have an asset? Can you take that agreement of yours, the development agreement and the tripartite agreement where the society, the builder and you have entered into an agreement for a house of a certain size? Can you take that agreement and mortgage that flat valued at 1.5 crore and take a loan of even 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 50 lakhs? Can you? I bet you can't. I bet you can't. If you are in the redevelopment component, you will not be able to float a loan, a home loan. If you are in the sale component, you will get a home loan, but only for the purpose of giving the money to the builder. That home loan is not for you to spend on anything else. Your home loan is only for giving to the builder. You will get a home loan in many projects. But if you are in the rehab component, can you float a loan? The builder has promised you a house, supposed to be worth 1.5 crore, maybe more. He is promising it. The development agreement says it is going to come to you in 3 years. Can you get a loan from a bank? Can you mortgage that asset? I am telling you, you can't. You can't mortgage that asset. The builder may mortgage the asset. He may get project finance on that. Okay, he may mortgage the whole project and take project finance, 40 crore, 50 crore, and maybe run away with it. Can you go to RERA? Supposedly, your society is the co-promoter. Supposedly. Your society is the co-promoter, the builder is the promoter. And a recent Bombay High Court judgment, it's a very bad judgment, but it is also a very real judgment. It says that if the sale component money has been taken by the builder, he takes the booking amount, he takes further amounts. Let us say he is sold a flat where the consideration value is 1 crore rupees and he has taken 20 lakh rupees as booking amount, and he has entered into agreement and he has maybe taken another 30-40 lakh rupees, lifted it as home loan disbursements, and then the builder disappears and says, or he just gives the power of attorney to someone else and says, I am going bankrupt. I can't pay, I can't do this. He has built a structure that is, let us say, 10 stories tall, whereas the actual structure to be built is 30 stories tall. He's built 10 stories of RCC structure, and then he says, I can't do it, and my pockets are empty. Do you know on whom the responsibility falls? To give the flat to the flat buyers, the sale component, it falls upon the shoulders of the cooperative housing society. The same cooperative housing society who don't have a flat of their own, the same members who don't have a house of their own, their house has been taken away by the builder. Do you think the court protects them from the builder? No. The court says, you guys collectively are co-promoters. You selected the builder, and the builder went and sold these flats. The builder has run off, or the builder is bankrupt. You are responsible for giving the flats to the flat buyers. Do you understand this? Can you understand the magnitude of the risk you are taking? Not only you will lose your flat, you will have to pay money to some builder to build your flat, and also the flat of another guy whose money he has taken and gone. You have not got that money. Your society has not got the money. Do you understand the magnitude of the risk? Does the managing committee understand the magnitude of the risk, the size of the risk? that it is exposing the entire society, all the flat buyers, all the flat owners to. It is absurd. It's an absurd amount of risk. It is a risk which is completely unacceptable. If there is a builder A who owns a building, an office building, and builder B comes to him and says, I will do this. Builder A will say, मुझे चूतिया समझा है क्या? You think I'm a fool? I was born yesterday. I know how it works. I am not going to give it to you for a redevelopment agreement. He will refuse to enter into a redevelopment agreement with another builder. But why are you, cooperative housing societies, entering into redevelopment agreements where you're completely foolish? You don't understand the risks. RERA won't protect you. RERA will protect the sale component, and then they will call you and say that you are co-promoters. You are co-promoters now. You have to ensure that the property gets completed, and you have to give the flat to the sale component. Otherwise we will take over the land and auction it and give the proceeds to the sale component. This is the kind of orders that can come out. If a minority of society members understand the risks, they have to fight tooth and nail by every means possible to prevent their society from being hijacked by a builder, to prevent their rights from being taken away by a builder, in collaboration with their managing committee. The builder and the managing committee are on the same side. Treat them as enemies. Fight with them as if you would fight with enemies. If they want to take away your house, if they want to take away your property, if they want to dishouse your family, you have to treat them as enemies. And enemies are enemies. If the law doesn't recognize that they are enemies, you have to recognize that they are enemies and treat them like enemies. There is a constitutional right, a fundamental right given to us, which is that our life and liberty cannot be interfered by any agency, any outside party. Our life and liberty are protected. Our life and liberty as individuals, our life and liberty as families are protected. Our autonomy is protected, constitutionally protected. But that is in theory. When redevelopment comes in, you are not protected by anything. Your life and liberty are not protected. Your dignity is not protected. Anybody can come in and take away your house from you. He can evict you from your house, even if your building is in sound condition. He may even succeed in evicting you from your house without entering into an agreement with your society. Without entering into a redevelopment agreement, they can evict you, taking advantage of your ignorance, your managing committee's ignorance, the corporation department's willingness to cooperate with builders, with whom they have absolutely nothing to do. Corporation department has nothing to do with builders. It is outside their jurisdiction. But corporation department will work hand in glove with builders to legitimize a builder and to delegitimize the society member who questions that builder. Do they take money? Yes, of course they take money. Of course they take money, and it's a well-known fact. Everybody knows it. It is common knowledge that for the builder selection meeting, there is a meeting where they call a cooperative department, corporation department person from the registrar's office, and everyone has to go in front of a camera, a video camera, and declare that I am so and so, I am a member of so and so society, this is my flat number, and I support this builder. I hereby select this builder. For such a meeting, the corporation department takes It's an open secret. Everybody knows it. For such a meeting, for attending such a meeting, the corporation department will take a bribe from the builder of about 25, 30, 35, 40,000 rupees per flat. So if you have 100 flats, 30, 40,000 rupees will become 40 lakh rupees. For doing what? For sending one person who will stand in front of a camera and ask, what is your name? Do you select this builder? This kind of thing. He will be present, or sometimes he will not even ask. He will just be present during that video camera meeting. Before that, he will sit with the managing committee and he will shake his head and smile. That's it. That's all he does. And he signs on some papers and says, yes, I was present. The corporation department takes large bribes like this, and because there are builders who are willing to bribe, the society is virtually handed over to the builder without proper paperwork, without proper agreement, without due diligence. And that's how it works. And then the corporation department will actually protect the builder. Managing committees also know this. They know this. Office bearers know that when a builder selection meeting is held, the builder is going to bribe the corporation department. Even the general body of the cooperative societies know about this. They know it. They will tell you, yes, the builder has called the person from corporation department, he has to pay 30,000 or 40,000 or 50,000 rupees per flat. Naturally, they say, naturally. So what is it? It is a bit like human trafficking. The society sells its members' rights to the builder. They are not getting anything. Maybe the managing committee guys are getting a bribe. Maybe. Not all of them. The society, the managing committee sells the rights of its own members. It's like selling cows. And, you just tie a rope around the neck of every flat owner and then hand over the rope to the builder. It is like that. It is a form of slavery. Now, the builder will use the managing committee of the society to subdue, to intimidate, to scare, to socially boycott anybody who opposes the builder. They will say this man doesn't want redevelopment. He is an opponent of redevelopment. He doesn't want everybody to have a new house. He's an enemy. He's a public enemy. This is how the societies will portray. Redevelopment is supposed to be a medicine, a cure for dilapidated buildings. Cooperative housing societies fall into bad condition. They are dilapidated. The building is in a bad shape. How to reconstruct? That is the question. Who will reconstruct? So the answer to this is that the builder says, you give me vacant possession of your houses, I will demolish the building, I will then reconstruct, I will rebuild. You can go and live in a rented house, and I will take care of the cost of that rent, 25,000, 30,000, depending on which area you live in. And I will rebuild a house for you, and I will let you come back and stay in that house in about 3-4 years. So he makes this deal, and this deal is called redevelopment. The problem of finding a developer is the societies, is the cooperative societies. And the problem of ensuring that the developer actually makes the flats and gives it back is also belonging to the society, the cooperative society. The managing committee that is elected, sometimes they are well educated, they are smart people, very often they are not very smart, And even if they are well educated, you somehow find that managing committees are not very smart. The individuals in them may be very smart people. They may be retired general managers or vice presidents or presidents of companies. But when you take the managing committee altogether, they tend to behave in a stupid and gullible way. They're usually stupid. Sounds like a bad thing to say, but a managing committee of a cooperative housing society is usually more stupid than each individual in that managing committee. Now, because of this stupidity, what happens is they usually assign the redevelopment work of the society as if they are assigning a charitable work. They do not approach the work of redevelopment like a business proposition. You have to see what is the value of the thing you are giving and the value of the thing you are getting. That is how you approach a business proposition. But the cooperative societies tend to approach redevelopment as a kind of a charitable proposition, charitable help, like going to an NGO for somehow putting together our building again. So the builder is not studied, he is not criticized, he is not analyzed, his financials are not properly analyzed. People are afraid of analyzing the builder very closely. They are afraid of asking for his financials. They are afraid of asking too many questions to the builders. Builders, on the other hand, approach this not as a business proposition. They would never dare to approach a government entity or another business, another builder in the way that they approach a cooperative society. The builders will approach a cooperative society the way a hunter will approach a herd of deer. Builders look at them and think, whom can I capture? How do I go in there? Whom can I subdue? Who will not fight back? Who does not have a fighting spirit? Who is least suspicious? This is the way they approach a cooperative society. They want a soft managing committee. A soft managing committee can be easily managed. They will manage the managing committee. The builder and his associates will manage the managing committee of the society. That is how they look at it. What does manage mean? Does it mean that they necessarily give money to the managing committee? Not necessarily. Maybe they don't necessarily have to give money and, corrupt them. They don't have to corrupt them with money. Sometimes the managing committee is automatically corrupted. It is very easy. It is corrupted by fear. Oh, we are so afraid that the building will collapse and we won't have a redevelopment builder. So we will give this project to this builder. Flat owners are almost helpless. Their rights are taken away. They are silenced. Flat owners have no say. They have no voice. Let us talk a little bit about what it means to be a flat owner with dignity. You own a flat. Your family is living in that flat. You owe it to your family to protect their interests. If something bad is going to happen to your flat, you owe it to your family to prevent that bad thing from happening. If someone comes and tries to evict you from that flat forcibly, you have a right, you have a duty to protect your family, to prevent your flat from being vacated forcefully. You have a right to go to court. You have a right to ensure that your wealth, which is the flat, the wealth which may be costing 30, 40, 50 lakhs, 1 crore, 2 crore rupees, it has a market value. You have a right to decide what happens with that flat. You have a right to decide and you have a duty to decide who is going to redevelop it. The person who is going to redevelop, to whom you are going to hand over your flat, is capable, is a capable builder, has honest intentions, enters into a proper development agreement, gives your society, gives you proper bank guarantee, and also to ensure that your society, your cooperative society, your managing committee shows honest intentions of actually protecting you, protecting your interests. That is your right. It is your right to ask questions to your society. Ask them, what have we done to ensure that this builder is the best we can find? What is his economic strength, the strength of this builder? What is his book strength? Does he have enough money? If our society's work, if our society's construction work is going to cost 20 crore rupees or 50 crore rupees, depending on the size, does this man have book strength of 50 crore or even half that amount? The rest of it he may raise through project finance. Does he have 50% of that amount? Does he have book strength? Does he have assets, liquidity of 20 crore, 30 crore rupees? Or is it locked up somewhere else? Isn't it your duty and isn't it your right to ask? Most societies, most managing committees of most societies will not allow you to ask these questions. They will suppress you. They will scare you. They will threaten you. You cannot ask the questions to the builder directly. They will say, no, we are in charge and we are going to ask. They will not let you ask. The stooges of the managing committee, some members or many members of the general body, may silence those who ask questions. They say, no, you can't be disrespectful to the builder. It is not about respect. He is not your son-in-law. He is not your brother-in-law. He is not your family member. It is not about respect. It is about understanding, correctly understanding and analyzing his capability and his intention to safeguard yourself, to safeguard your house, to safeguard the value of your house, your asset. And it may be the only or the biggest asset that you have. Unfortunately, the force of the majority is used to silence the minority of people who question, who ask these questions, who say, wait a minute, we haven't heard about this builder? Who is this builder? Or they may have heard about this builder, bad things about the builder. They may have heard this builder has failed to redevelop in 5 projects. His 5 projects are stagnant. They are stuck. They are not going ahead. For the last 10 years, he has been holding on to these 5 projects and nothing has moved. Or this guy has cheated. He has cheated others in redevelopment. He has cheated societies. At first he says, I will give you 20%, 30% extra, and then later on he says, sorry, we have to make a development agreement. We have to amend the development agreement. We'll have to make a supplementary agreement where it says, no, I'm not giving you 20, 30% extra. I'm not giving you any extra space. Or I'm not giving you any extra space. I will give you the same space, and moreover, you will have to pay 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 30 lakh rupees to me so that I will finish your house and the sale component. This is the kind of stories that come out. And if people want to talk about this in the general body meeting and ask the builder, why did you not complete so and so project for the last 5 years? How can we trust you? They are prevented from asking questions by their own fellow members and from the managing committee. Everybody becomes the stooges of the builder. The managing committee of Your cooperative society has to stand on your side. They have to sit on your side of the table. The builder is on the opposite side of the table. The builder is not sitting on the same side of the table as you. Think about it like this. There's a transaction, you are on opposite sides of a table. You are dealing. You are asking questions. And your society, your managing committee is supposed to be on the same side of the table as you. Their interests are supposed to be the same as yours. Their interests are not and they cannot be the same as the builders. But it always happens. It almost always happens. I will go so far as to say it always happens. Okay, because I'm yet to see a society redevelopment where the managing committee will distance itself from the builder and ally with you, the ordinary member, and say, yes, we have to ask him this question. We have to be firm with the builder. Nobody says we have to be firm with the builder. I am yet to see a managing committee member or an office bearer talk this language and continue being on the office bearers. He will be kicked out of the managing committee. Or he will be distanced. He will be sidelined. What always happens is that the managing committee, the office bearers, and a very large number of, there is a silent majority, but that silent majority is not silent when it comes to silencing and oppressing and boycotting any member of the society who asks questions, who wants to ask questions to the builder, who wants to treat the builder like an opposite party, who is on the other side of the table. And then the managing committee hides all information from them. Development agreement was signed. They will not give the copy. They may not even reveal that the development agreement was signed or what papers have been signed. Papers like irrevocable power of attorney should not be given lightly. Irrevocable power of attorney. What if the builder is playing dirty with you? For example, the builder takes irrevocable power of attorney from one society. Let us call it a cooperative housing society limited. And then he sets off. He says, now I will go and take the development rights from B society, the neighboring society, and I will make it into a combined redevelopment project. Now, a combined redevelopment project is risky. It may be profitable for the builder, but it is risky for the society. He will increase his profits, but he is not doing it for your good. A project which is to be completed in 3 years or 5 years may take 10 years or 15 years or 20 years to complete. Or if it becomes very complicated and goes to court, someone goes to court, some kind of dispute, big dispute breaks out, it may never get completed. Or the builder has overreached himself, he has overstretched himself, it never gets completed. There are 100 reasons why it won't get completed. There are only 3 or 4 reasons why it will get completed. If everything goes right, then it is completed. Then the redevelopment project is completed and you will get your flat back within a realistic amount of time. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. But if it goes wrong, if any one of those things goes wrong, you are not getting your house again. Aged folks, 50 years old, 60 years old, they are evicted from their houses. Maybe they come back when they are 70 or 80. If it is their good fortune, they come back before they are 70. If it is their bad fortune, they die. They die outside their house, moving from one rental accommodation to another. They become refugees of redevelopment. Their future becomes uncertain. This is a fact. This is not an imaginary scenario. This happens ever so often. Politicians don't want to talk about this because they seem to be part of the system. No politician, whether opposition party or ruling party, no politician seems to be interested in talking about failed redevelopment projects. Nobody wants to talk about how many 1,000 failed redevelopment projects there are in Mumbai and in Pune. Redevelopment projects are just hanging for the last 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. But there are so many failed redevelopment projects, and failed redevelopment projects get repackaged. A failed redevelopment project by one builder may change hands, go to another builder, go to a third builder, and they may sell redevelopment projects to each other and transfer it with a mere power of attorney. Builder A gives power of attorney to builder B, who gives him the right. He may not even ask for the permission of the society. He just takes it. He just does it. And maybe secretly the managing committee will sign without even calling a general body meeting. They will sign the papers. Maybe they get something in return. Maybe a few lakh rupees. But they may also lose their house. Unfortunately, courts have a very myopic way of looking at this. They look at it with, they are very short-sighted. And maybe they are motivated. Their whole thing is, do 51% of the society members support this builder? Yes, finished. He has the rights. The society may sign a development agreement with him. How? How does that happen? No. 51%, the majority has decided. The society is autonomous body. It was done without any due process, my lord. The 79A guidelines were thrown to the winds. No, 79A guidelines are only guidelines where they are not enforceable. But the will of the majority is enforceable. But enforceable with some due process, with due diligence. No, there is no such need. There is no such requirement under the law. So an ineligible builder, a builder without capabilities, a builder who may actually be a failed builder, a builder who may not even be a builder, a builder who may be just an estate agent, who is only interested in capturing your society and selling it to a builder, may take it. Or a builder, a failed builder, a builder who has already failed in making who is habitually mismanaging. Or a crook whose only intention is to take booking amounts from new buyers and then just disappear. A complete crook who has no interest in actually building and completing the project and handing over the houses to people, who has no interest in handing over the redevelopment component to the redevelopment flat owners, who has no interest in handing over the sale component to the sale component guys, to the people who have bought or booked the flats. Such a builder may also be selected as a builder by your society and may be staunchly defended by your managing committee, your chairman, your secretary. And later on, when several years pass and his failure comes out, they say, oh, what to do? No, it's not our fault. They may not even give any answers. What is the remedy, you ask? There are a lot of people who say, Krish, you are not talking about remedies. What is the remedy? Well, the first remedy is that the managing committee should not side with the builder. That is your first remedy. The managing committee should not take sides with the builder. The managing committee should take sides with the general body. They are sitting on the side of the general body, and if the general body or any member thereof wants to ask tough questions to the builder, the managing committee should say, yes, answer the question. Mr. Builder, answer the question. Answer his question. Why are they so afraid? Oh, he will run away, he will go away, then they will be left with nobody. What is this nonsense? They should be on the side of the society. That is the first remedy. How to make them? How to make them come to the side of? Well, they are your people. They are your neighbors. How to make them? Well, you will have to come together and make them. If they don't listen to lawful methods, I dare say you beat them to bring them to their senses. Now, this may sound like incitement, but let me ask you something very simple. A managing committee is taking away your voice, preventing you from speaking out, preventing you from speaking in the one proper forum which is there for you, which is the general body, prevents you from speaking, pressurizes you to be silent, prevents you from asking questions to a businessman who wants to take away your flats from your flat, which is your only life saving or your major life saving worth 50, 60, 70 lakh rupees or a crore of rupees or more. They are preventing you from ensuring your family's safety. They are using groupism. They are using bullying tactics. What should you do? What should you do? I will tell you what you should do. A, you name and shame them. You shame them for their bullying tactics. You shame them. Or you beat them. If that is the only language they understand and the law does not protect you, if the law does not protect you, the law enforcement doesn't seem to protect you, what do you do? I'm telling you what you do, you beat them. Now, does it seem like a solution? In the absence of all solutions, what else do you do? In the absence of all other solutions, when you have reached a point where there is no solution, what else do you do? Now, is this incitement to violence? Damn right it is, because what is the other thing? If I tell you to remain silent when your house is being taken away from you, when your wife and your children and your family members are being thrown out forcibly by force of your own managing committee and an outsider who has become the darling of your managing committee, what else do you do? Name and shame them? Beat them? Yes, absolutely, beat them. Because they are threatening your entire existence. They are taking away your dignity. They are preventing you from living your life without interference. You have a right to live your life without interference. You have a right to ensure your family's safety, and they are preventing you from ensuring your own family's safety, financial safety, your future. What else do you do? If you have any ideas, share it. What I would say, yes, you file a complaint, you file a police complaint, you write to CMO, you write to PMO, you write to your police commissioner, you do all of the above, you go to court. But you know what, my dear friends? All of the above, all of these authorities, so-called authorities, want to stand aside while you are being gang raped by your own society. They want to stand away. No, it is the right of your society to fuck you in your ass, to take away your house, to bully you, to keep the information away from you. No, to keep you in the dark. That is supposed to be the right of your society. If that is where it reaches, and that is where it often reaches, you go to every MLA, you go to every MP, you go to every corporator you know. But if that doesn't work, then I say beat them. Absolutely, they have to be afraid for their lives. They should be afraid for their lives. Now, what if they beat you? Yeah. It is a jungle world. It's a world of Jungle Raj. It is. Where a moneyed person, a powerful, influential person, often with political support, has come to take away your house. And you are supposed to just be a decent human being and be a nice person and go to court and go to police, and you are supposed to keep quiet. The civil law has broken down. The constitution has broken down. At this juncture, law and order actually breaks down. If you are not allowed to go to law enforcement agencies, if you cannot through civil means try to protect the rights of your family and yourself and your financial strength, your own financial assets, you are not allowed to do these things, because a corrupt corporation department has participated along with your managing committee in selling you like cows, like cattle to a slaughterhouse. And the project management consultant is just a guy who's actually managing you. He is a flat owner management consultant who is paid by the builder directly or indirectly. And you are supposed to go along quietly, and yes, the PMC says it is okay. If the lawyer says, the lawyer paid for by your society is doing the work of the builder, is helping the builder, is helping the managing committee to prevent you from speaking out, to prevent you from asking questions that must be asked. You have a right to get all the relevant information. All means all the relevant information, all the papers. You have a right to protect yourself from all who are trying to encroach upon your life and liberty and dignity. You have a right. So, asking a person who is being forced and coerced into redevelopment to remain peaceful is like asking a woman who is about to be gang raped to remain peaceful and say, no, we must respect the law, don't take the law into your own hands. No, please take the law into your own hands, rip out their testicles, bite their dick off. No, you can complain afterwards to the police. Or don't worry, police will punish the rapists. Is that what you're going to tell the person who is about to be raped? Oh, law will punish the rapists. They will face trial. We must have faith in the law enforcement agencies. We must have faith in our court system, our judiciary. Is that what you're going to tell a woman who is about to be raped? I won't say that. I can't say that in any good conscience. If you are fighting with your back to the wall and all civilized means have failed, and all lawful means have failed, lawful means to protect yourself have failed, well then please try the not so lawful means. Is that not what you would say? So, I'll be very plain. Begin by naming and shaming them. Name and shame the builder who is trying to encroach upon your society. Name and shame the people who are coming out to suppress you from protecting yourself and protecting your family and protecting your financial integrity, your autonomy, your assets, your peaceful living, your right to continue living where you live and doing what you do. Fight by every means possible. Fight. Start by naming and shaming them. Make a video. Tell me about it. Tweet if you must. Okay, what if they file a defamation suit? Fuck that. If they file a defamation suit, fuck that. And I'm willing to stand with you and say fuck that. If they file a defamation suit, fight it. Is it the truth? Are you willing to fight for the truth? Are you willing to fight for your own integrity, your autonomy, your right to live with dignity, your own fundamental right, your constitutional right? See friends, at the borders of our country, we can say, oh, our soldiers are protecting us and all that. It is not necessarily so. Chinese come and take away land in Ladakh and the soldiers are told not to interfere. That's happening. But at the borders, hopefully our borders are protected. But what if the enemy isn't the Chinese, The enemy are your own neighbors, your own managing committee, in whose hands the power has come and they are misusing the power. And the enemy is a moneyed businessman or a group of moneyed businessmen, a cartel, who want to take away your house, and God knows where it is going. You don't know whether they are going to rebuild the house and give it back to you in a decent amount of time or not. You can't fight everything by going to court. And if the police refuses to defend you, you have to defend yourself. Think about what this means. Apply your mind. Justice is not a lollipop. Justice is not a laddu that each and everyone gets. It is not distributed. Justice is something that you need to fight for and you pay for with your sweat and blood. Like Netaji Subhash Bose said, तुम मुझे खून दो, मैं तुम्हें आज़ादी दूंगा. खून तुम्हें देना पड़ेगा दोस्त. You will have to pay for justice with your blood and your sweat and your tears. You will have to fight. There are no easy ways. Sometimes there are no easy ways. Sometimes the only way is the way with many sharp stones. And you will have to walk over those stones. And you may have to suffer for it. And in assisting you, I may have to suffer for it. Yeah, sure, let's do it. Let's do it. Because if that's the only way possible, then let's do it. That's the only way. I am Krish, the Urban Naxal. Jai Maharashtra, Jai Hind, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan.